The United States dropped an atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. The bomb was known as Little Boy. 3 days after the Hiroshima blast, the United States dropped the second atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Nagasaki. The bomb was codenamed as Fatma. On the early morning of 9 August 1945, the Boeing B-29 Superfortress takes off from Tinian with Fatma. The bomber's primary target was the city of Kokura. After 7 hours of flight, the aircraft arrived over the target. Due to thick clouds and drifting smoke, they could not able to drop the bomb on Kokura. So, they shifted their target to Nagasaki. Nagasaki was a port city located about 100 miles from Kokura. It was larger, with an approximate population of 263,000 people. At an altitude of about 17,000 feet, the Fatman was dropped over the city of Nagasaki. 47 seconds later, the Fatman reached an altitude of about 1,600 feet, the Archie radar antenna emitting and reflecting the signal to the ground. These signals are used to detect the detonation altitude. The radar altimeters were used to reliably detect final altitude, when the altimeters sensed the correct height. Then the 32 exploding bridge wire detonators, simultaneously releasing electrical sparks. Due to this electrical spark, all of the explosives would go off simultaneously. The thick layer of the metal casing helps to create an implosion shock wave inside the casing. The medium-density aluminum pusher transfers the imploding shock wave. The shock wave then compresses the inner components, passing through a boron plastic shell. Then the shock wave transfers to a natural uranium tamper, and the sphere of plutonium would be compressed. In the middle of plutonium, 2 elements are called polonium and beryllium. Due to the compression, the 2 metals mix them together, and thereby releasing a burst of neutrons. Approximately 10 milliseconds later, the nuclear chain reaction occurred. 1 atom of plutonium is hit by a neutron. It splits into 2, releasing energy, and it produces 2 neutrons, each of which goes on to react or split other atoms of plutonium. A chain reaction of atom splittings takes place. This nuclear chain reaction causes a tremendous explosion. The Fat Man exploded at an altitude of about 1,600 feet. The energy from the explosion is distributed over a wider area. If it exploded on the ground, the result of the explosion will be relatively low. The bomb detonated with the same force of 21 kilotons of TNT, forming a mushroom cloud about 60,000 feet tall. Approximately 40,000 people were killed, and destroyed nearly every building within 3 square miles of the epicenter. Inside the epicenter, the thermal heat from the explosion vaporized some people instantly. The damage came from 3 main effects: blast, fire, and radiation. The blast from a nuclear bomb is the result of an X-ray heated air, called fireball. The fireball was an extremely hot and highly luminous spherical mass of air and gases that sent a shock wave in all directions, initially at a velocity greater than the speed of sound. The firestorm-affected area was roughly 3.2 kilometers from the epicenter.